ABC 3340 News starts now with live breaking news.
Breaking right now at midday, a massive fire blazes through a downtown hotel. You're taking a live look at the scene. This is at 7th Avenue South, and this is just right over from the hospital district and UAB's campus, just a couple blocks away. ABC 3340's Alex Durance is live at the scene right now. Alex, what's happening right there where you are?
Well, Sarah, we just learned, I just spoke to Battalion Chief Sebastian Carrillo with Birmingham Fire and Rescue. He says right now it appears that some of the fire has leapt over the firewall of this building and gone onto the adjacent building next door, onto the roof of that adjacent building. I'm going to step aside and show you what's going on. You can see the flames on that building right there. This call came in a little after 9 o'clock this morning. We're told that 50 to 60 firefighters from Birmingham Fire and Rescue are working this fire. They can't get inside the building right now because the fire is just so deep inside the building, so they can't even get in to find out the cause of it, where it started, or if there's anybody inside. But we are told that the hospitality in that structure right there, that is abandoned. There are other businesses to this left side. Those businesses have been abandoned. We're told that the apartment complex behind the building has not been evacuated by Birmingham Fire and Rescue. But if they were self-evacuated, that was one thing, but they have not been evacuated by Birmingham Fire and Rescue. There are no reported injuries at this time. Right now, firefighters are in a defensive mode, trying to make sure the fire does not spread to any other buildings. But as we just mentioned, it looks like that the fire has leapt over the firewall and is on the adjacent roof of the building next door. The power and utilities in the buildings have been cut, so you can see that some of the stoplights are out right now. This is where we are right now. We're back in the middle of the street along 7th Avenue South. Just for safety purposes, we've been moved back quite a bit so the crews can do their jobs and keep things safe over here. But right now we know that there are no reported injuries at this time. Crews are unable to get inside due to how deep the fire is inside the building, so they can't tell if anyone's inside the abandoned building. They can't tell where the cause is or where it started. But that investigation is most likely going to take some time. So that is what we know right now. As soon as we learn any new information, we will bring that to you both on air and online at abc3340.com. For now, live in Birmingham, Alex Durance, ABC 3340 News.
Alex, before we let you go, let me ask you a question about this. We know this is such a busy area. We're almost to lunchtime right now. We can see the UAB campus there behind you. Talk about this span. How many streets are blocked off? Do we know yet? How large of an area is this that is roped off at this point?
Well, right now, I can tell you that this area of 7th Avenue South is blocked off. Just in the distance of Richard Arrington Jr. Boulevard, there were personnel up there when we came in to survey the scene. There are crews up there blocking the road, and there are crews behind us at 23rd Street South. But we know if this immediate area is blocked off right now. We do not know the exact number of streets, but this is how many we know right now. As you can see, just crews lining this stretch of road up here, trying to get this blaze out. Like we said, they are in defensive mode, but they're at a point now where they can't get inside the building. That's how deep the fire is. So, like we said, as soon as we get more information, crews have been coming over little by little just to try to give us as much as they can. That's the latest that we have, and as soon as we get new information, we will certainly bring that to you. Sarah?
All right, Alex, thank you. Let us know when you have an update, and we'll come right back to you. Also happening right now, the Alabama Senate is debating the gas tax proposal in Montgomery. That committee meeting started just about an hour ago, and that vote could come as soon as today. Now, yesterday, the Senate Transportation and Energy Committee approved the plan to raise Alabama's gas tax by 10 cents. If it is passed, you could start noticing some changes by October 1st. But many critics of this tax say that there are other ways to raise revenue to improve the roads and the bridges, namely through Medicaid expansion, and some even suggest a lottery.
Absolutely critical that the black boxes that were recovered get read immediately so we can figure out whether this was a problem with the airplane that affects the fleet worldwide.
American investigators are now on the scene in Ethiopia, charged with the grim task of picking through the debris of the Ethiopian Boeing 737 MAX 8 jet that crashed Sunday. 157 people on board were killed, including 8 Americans. And with still no answers as to exactly what happened, there are now new safety questions about the brand new Boeing jet. And with 2 crashes within 5 months of a new version of this 737, questions are being raised about the plane's airworthiness. In the United States, Southwest, American, and United are all still flying those planes. Matt Markovich from our sister station in Seattle shows us the major safety questions over one of Boeing's most popular jets.
For Boeing, the 737 MAX has been a huge moneymaker. The first one rolling off the assembly line in Renton, Washington nearly 2 years ago. It's now the company's most desirable commercial aircraft, with 350 in the air and 4,700 on order.
There's nothing right now that I know of that would lend any credence to being concerned about this particular airplane.
But in an abundance of caution, airlines and countries are grounding the aircraft. China's aviation authority has grounded the country's 97 planes. Ethiopian Airlines grounded its remaining 4 planes. Cayman Airways has done the same. But North American carriers have not, including Southwest, American, and Canadian-based WestJet. Both Southwest and American say they will not change its ticketing policies if passengers choose not to fly on a 737 MAX. Boeing stock on Monday reflected the worries, dropping 13% on its open, ending down 5% for the day.
I don't think anybody should be too quick to jump on those and say, there must be something wrong with the MAX. We just don't know enough.
Late today, the FAA said on its Twitter feed it would issue a continued airworthiness notification, meaning the 737 MAX is okay to fly. When a Lion Air 737 MAX crashed in Indonesia in October of last year, there were initial concerns about the plane's autopilot, but the lack of training of the pilots became the main issue.
Worldwide, we've got a problem with pilots being taught to be systems operators rather than pilots. Whether or not that has anything to do with the second accident, I don't know. It certainly did with the first.
Boeing shows no signs of cutting back on its deliveries of the 737 MAX. It's on schedule to roll out 57 every month. In Seattle, Matt Markovich reporting.
ABC 30 through 40 News has been on top of the investigation and safety concerns since the plane first crashed Sunday. You can stay up to date on our free news app and on abc3340.com. Happening right now, the search continues to find a missing elderly woman in the Glencoe area. Come take a look at your screen this midday. Police are trying to find this woman, 84-year-old Lorene Virginia Collier. Her family reported her missing last week, and they haven't heard from her since. They say she did not have her cell phone with her. She was last seen driving a blue 2019 Kia Optima with a Florida license plate. Collier was visiting her 2 brothers the day she went missing.
If she was picked up and taken to a hospital or maybe even a warming center or a shelter, if we can get the word out to everybody and spread it as far as we can, that maybe that will help us find her quicker and reunite her with her family.
And we certainly hope so. Again, that blue Kia Optima she was driving would have a Florida license plate. If you've seen the car, if you know where she is, call police immediately. New at midday, the massive cleanup efforts continue in hard-hit Lee County. The community is taking a break to come together. Last night, hundreds of people were at Beauregard High School for the Night of Hope vigil. The community gathered to lean on each other and remember the 23 lives lost in that devastating EF4 tornado March 3rd. Several churches and people who live in Lee County planned the vigil.
Husband is first responder. He made sure we were okay and immediately sprang into action. And basically, I was just wondering what I could do. And the Lord spoke to my heart and said, Angela, just open your mouth. Just sing. Because there are so many hurting people and they are just heartbroken. And we can be able to encourage them and lift their spirits up.
Survivors of the Lee County tornadoes are now getting help from FEMA. And the survivors from that EF4 tornado also, we know so far 300 houses, 300 of them have been registered for disaster relief. And we know $400,000 in aid has been approved. It's certainly been a tough past few days here in central Alabama, Megan, and we are so glad to finally see the sunshine.
Yes, we are very thankful that we're seeing some sunshine today and tomorrow, but as we go through Thursday, we are going to see the risk for some strong storms moving through here. The radar quiet as can be. We're dealing with clouds at times this midday, but ultimately the majority of you all are dealing with sunshine. It was just outside and it does look fantastic outdoors. You'll notice that you may see a sprinkle or two over in parts of Lamar, North northern Marion and Fayette County as a little bit of a short wave kicks on through. But ultimately, I do believe the air is a bit dry and not going to support too much rainfall. 62 degrees right now in downtown Birmingham. Tuscaloosa at 64. We're in the mid-50s from Haleyville back into Coleman at 58. So as we go through the rest of the work week, we've got that one-day Thursday that you need to know about. We'll break it down for you hour by hour coming up next.
Also coming up this midday, an alert for Honda owners. Why airbags are still a top concern. The recalled drivers need to know. And breaking next at midday, 50 actresses and college executives are charged with cheating. The celebrities facing those charges of paying their child's way into top universities. Breaking at midday, Hollywood celebrities and chief college executives are among 50 people now charged in a nationwide college admissions cheating scam. Court records filed in Boston charge a list of actresses, including Felicity Huffman from Desperate Housewives and Lori Loughlin from Full House. The federal prosecutors say they paid bribes of up to $6 million to get their children into elite colleges like Yale, Stanford, USC, and Georgetown. The 200 pages of charging documents in the case were unsealed in Boston federal court. No response yet from those actresses or the executives charged. Any updates we will pass along to you. An important recall alert to keep your family safe. Honda is recalling around 1 million older vehicles, all because of continued airbag problems. Honda says the car's Takata airbag inflators that were installed during those previous recalls could be dangerous. Affected models include the 2001 to 2007 Accord, 2002 to 2006 CR-V, and 2001 to 2005 Civic, and the Odyssey minivan from 2002 to 2004. Owners will be notified to have those inflators replaced. Some big upgrades on heavily traveled bridges. The updates you need to know on the 5920 bridge downtown and Highway 31's bridge in Shelby County. And British lawmakers will soon vote on the agreement to officially leave the European Union. The worldwide impact of their decision. And soak up the sunshine. We've got a break from the rain finally. Megan's got the forecast. Plus, we have another update on that breaking news happening in downtown Birmingham. You're taking a live look there at the scene. That fire at the Hospitality Inn now spreading to nearby businesses. We've got the very latest just ahead. Back at our top story this midday, you're taking a live look right now in downtown Birmingham as a massive fire is blazing at the Hospitality Inn. This is at 7th Avenue South. And if you're familiar with this area, this is right next to the UAB campus. This is just blocks away from the hospital district. And we have just learned that that fire has now spread to the building next door. There's about 50 to 60 firefighters trying to put this thing out. They're all in defensive mode at this point. A reporter on the scene there, Alex Durantz, told us just minutes ago they can't go inside. They can't get too close to it because that is how large this fire is. So they are still in defensive mode. Again, no word yet on any evacuations. Alex mentioned that there is an apartment complex that is just behind this building. And at this point, they have not been evacuated. But of course, this is a developing story, and we do know that that could change. We're going to keep watching all of these updates, and as soon as anything new comes into our newsroom, we'll let you know. Another ABC 30 through 40 news alert, this time from overseas in London. Soon, British lawmakers will vote on the agreement to officially leave the European Union. News of the impending vote has already caused the pound to slump by more than 1%. John Lawrence shows us what's at stake.
British Prime Minister Theresa May returns home with what she says is a major win, a better Brexit for Brits.
The House of Commons will debate the improved deal that these legal changes have created. I will speak in more detail about them when I open that debate.
Brexit, put simply, is Britain exiting the European Union, and it appears the UK and EU have finally reached an agreement that puts the split in concrete.
This has been disastrous. It's been the tensions within various parties in Westminster, both the Conservative Party and Labour Party.
Brexit Secretary Stephen Barclay says these binding modifications strengthen and improve the United Kingdom's agreement to withdraw from the European Union.
Now is the time to come together, to back this improved Brexit deal and to deliver on the instruction of the British people.
Parliament is scheduled to vote on May's withdrawal agreement Tuesday. May's previous version of the exit plan lost by 230 votes in January. If Parliament doesn't vote for this deal, lawmakers will have to vote on whether to leave without a deal in place or send May back to Brussels to ask for a deadline extension. As for the U.S., experts say the unraveling of the European Union could bring more instability to the region. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Back here at home, the Birmingham City Council is working towards a compromise on a Major League Baseball youth training facility at George Ward Park. Monday, Council Pro Tem William Parker proposed building an additional softball field at the park so all sports can coexist. That field would be built in addition to the MLB training facility. Parker plans to lay out the new proposal for people living in Glen Iris this Thursday. AlDOT has now begun the bridge removal on Highway 31 over Interstate 65 in Calera. This is in Shelby County. The removal will start at exit 231. The southbound removal will take place today. The northbound removal will happen Wednesday and Thursday. The same process will be used Sunday through Thursday, March 21st, to finish up the work. And out with the old and in with the new. This week, AlDOT crews will begin construction on the new Interstate 5920 bridge in downtown Birmingham. Construction won't be impacted by the demolition of the old bridge, which is expected to finish at the end of the month. The construction project is on time, and the interstate is expected to reopen in 12 months. Let's get a check of the forecast this midday with meteorologist Megan Thomas. We're enjoying seeing the sunshine, but we got some problems downtown. We're still looking at that fire.
Yes, we're still looking at this fire from downtown, but I wanted to point out, if you can see past it, we've got a mix of sun and clouds around this. And ultimately, I was just driving down I-65 southbound from Gardendale when I spotted this, and you get a bit of a haze that happens right as you're crossing the interstate. So again, this fire is impacting some of the visibility downtown as well, especially some of those close buildings by UAB. But ultimately, we are dry and rain-free today. The radar is quiet and clear. No issues out there at this time. These clouds that you see are going to be mixing out with some sunshine. And notice the rain, as it crosses the state line, it says, hey, we're not entering Alabama today. We are going to be dry and quiet today and tomorrow. By the time Thursday rolls around, we've got a front that's going to be headed our way, which one is going to give us the risk for a few stronger storms on Thursday afternoon and evening. 62 right now in downtown Birmingham, Coleman at 61, Alabaster at 58, T-Town coming in at 64. We've got low 60s over to Gadsden and into Anniston. Thursday, again, a day that you have to pay attention to the weather. We've got a risk for some stronger storms. The main threat this time going to be coming from damaging straight line winds. We have that standard slight risk in place. That is a level 2 out of a level 5. Includes places like Birmingham, Jasper, Fayette, Sulligent, back down to parts of Greene and Hale County. Pickens County also included in this, and a sliver of Blount County as well. So something to pay attention to. So let's break this down for you. In the short term, no big issues to worry about. This is 3 o'clock today. Upper 60s, low 70s, a mix of sun and clouds overnight. A very quiet evening as temperatures fall back down into the 50s. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. I think the sunrise is going to look just as good as it was this morning. And then 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 70s once again before that rain gets in here for Thursday morning. You may be dealing with some rain early morning on the commute, but otherwise it will begin to increase as we go through Thursday evening. Up on the 7-day again, Thursday is the only day this week that we see rain.
Ahead on News Midday, Lucky Charms and beer. It's about to be a thing. The brewing company making an interesting new breakfast drink that is already selling out. On March 2nd, Smart Mouth Brewing Company in Virginia released its Saturday Morning IPA. The beer is made with Lucky Charms, marshmallow bits, and it's been a talker ever since, with cans selling out within hours. Circa's Corey Kipps shows us why people seem to just not be able to get enough of this cereal beer.
Smart Mouth Brewing in Norfolk, Virginia took the country by storm with their newest limited beer release.
We're releasing Saturday Morning IPA, which is made with toasted marshmallows and cereal marshmallow bits. Because who doesn't love the days when you were a kid and you got to run downstairs and eat cereal and watch cartoons?
The line started to take shape just after 8 a.m. for the noon release and quickly wrapped around the block and kept growing.
You know, frankly, we haven't opened the doors yet, and if you're not in line, you're not going to get any.
We added the marshmallows actually to the boil. And I did a mix between 2 different types of marshmallows, marshmallow bits, and I also toasted some marshmallows as well. Thought to get that caramelization, So when they went in, you'd start to get some of that more vanilla kind of flavors.
It's like a very soft IPA, and it's got Calypso and Galaxy hops in it, which give it a little bit of tropical fruit notes to it. You get a little bit of that fruitiness, but actually most of the fruitiness doesn't come from the marshmallows, it comes from the hops. If people are expecting an IPA with a little bit of marshmallow essence to it, they'll be happy.
For Circa, this is Corey Kipps.
We want to go back to that breaking news right now. You are taking a live look at downtown Birmingham, the hospitality inn there burning, and we have just learned that fire has spread to another building. Also breaking, we have found out that a firefighter has been injured. They're being transported right now to a hospital. We've got another live update coming up on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
News starts now with breaking news.
That breaking news this midday, a massive fire in downtown Birmingham. The blaze is on 7th Avenue South at a vacant hotel near the UAB campus and the hospital district. Now, we've just learned a firefighter has been injured and taken to the hospital. Fire crews have battled those flames for more than 2 hours now. ABC 3340's Stony Sharp is at the live desk watching these updates. Stony, what are you finding out?
Sarah, let's show you what we're watching right now. Downtown Birmingham, the vacant hospitality inn, 7th Avenue South. We have a live crew on the scene. This is live video from Rim 8. A fire right now still very active there. As far from over, as you just said, we just learned one firefighter has been injured. The firefighter transported to the hospital. You can see smoke filling the downtown skyline, smoke also filling downtown streets. The entire block there shut down. The call came in just after 9 a.m. A 2-alarm fire, up to 60 firefighters on the scene. Again, the hotel is vacant. Firefighters cannot get inside just yet to see if anyone was in the building when the fire started. Right now, fire crews are in defensive mode, meaning it's unsafe to go inside. They're fighting the fire from the outside, and we just learned again that the fire jumped over the firewall, impacting another part of that building. Again, we have these live images showing all the smoke. We're going to keep you updated, and we'll keep watching this story. At the live desk, Stony Sharp, ABC 3340 News.
All right, Stony, thank you. Let us know when you have an update, and we'll come right back to you. We are learning more this midday about a deadly plane crash in Ethiopia. More than 20 airlines now grounding the Boeing 737 MAX 8 jet. Some leaders here in the United States are also calling for domestic carriers to ground the plane while that investigation is underway. Zachary Keish has the developing details this midday.
The delicate task of uncovering any new information about the doomed Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 playing out right now. U.S. investigators seen in forensic gear now at the crash site joining Ethiopian Airlines accident investigators.
For the time being that we have already collected everything, but for the next step that we have to see what the next step is to arrange the wreckage here.
All 157 passengers and crew dead, including 8 Americans when that Boeing 737 MAX 8 went down. The UK joining a growing list of countries and airlines today announcing they will park the jets, saying in a statement, "We have, as a precautionary measure, issued instructions to stop any commercial passenger flights from any operator arriving, departing, or overflying UK airspace." Witnesses described seeing smoke from the rear of the plane before it crashed. Investigators hope the black boxes will reveal what happened inside the cockpit, both before and after the plane disappeared from radar, the jet never rising above 1,200 feet off the ground.
Absolutely critical that the black boxes that were recovered get read immediately so we can figure out whether this was a problem with the airplane that affects the fleet worldwide.
As investigators race to find the answers, families around the world are mourning victims from 35 different countries. Among them, Antoine Lewis of Illinois, along with Matt Vasari and Melvin and Bennett Riffle of California. Boeing saying in a new statement that safety is their #1 priority and that they have full confidence in the MAX 8. Zachary Keish, ABC News, New York.
ABC 3340 News has been on top of the investigation and safety concerns since that plane crash on Sunday. You can stay up to date on that investigation right now on ABC3340.com and our free app. Right now, let's get a check on the forecast with meteorologist Megan Thomas. Certainly no complaints about the sunshine today, Megan.
No, we are not complaining about it at all. But again, this is a live look from that fire that is downtown near UAB. It is causing some visibility problems, especially as you're coming over the interstate and with the wind blowing. Really, the wind's not too bad, so it is settling in the lower area by downtown. But notice the sunshine is out and we do have a few clouds around, but otherwise the radar is clear. We'll get to the graphics. We'll show you what's going on. So radar very quiet at this hour, no rain to mention, but clouds are breaking up at times. So if you're in Gadsden, if you're in Anniston, if you're in Cleburne County or even Calhoun County, you're dealing with nothing but sunshine. But back towards the west, a few clouds building in into parts of Lamar and Pickens County, but otherwise things are just fine. No rain expected today. The air just a bit too dry here in central Alabama. You can see how it is crossing the state line and then eventually just fades away. Temperatures this midday, not bad either. We're sitting at 62 degrees in downtown. Tuscaloosa at 64, Gadsden to Anniston in the low 60s. As we go through the rest of the work week, we are going to be dealing with the risk for some strong storms in here on Thursday. And at this point, the standard slight risk is back over to parts of West Alabama. We'll break it down and tell you exactly what counties are in this slight risk and how it could impact your Thursday. Sarah.
New developments in the Galleria officer-involved shooting. The family of Emantic Bradford Jr., along with the ACLU and the state chapter of the NAACP, have filed a lawsuit against the Attorney General and Hoover's police chief. They want the body camera video from the Thanksgiving night shooting released. The Attorney General decided not to prosecute the police officer who shot Bradford. His office released surveillance video from that night, but they did not release the body camera video. Ahead on News Midday, relief from the storm. The help already on its way to survivors of the Lee County EF4. And new devices for Apple lovers. The gadget's possibly rolling out, and when we get our first sneak peek. And taking another live look right now at downtown Birmingham is that massive hotel fire, the vacant hotel fire there. We know right now 50 to 60 firefighters are trying to put out this blaze. This is on, again, 7th Avenue South. We are watching these updates closely. We do know one firefighter has been injured. We've got another update on the other side of the break. Stay with us. We want to take another live look at downtown Birmingham this midday. This is the Hospitality Inn that is on fire. It is a vacant hotel, and we understand this fire has just spread to the building behind it. This is on 7th Avenue South, and we know that several streets around that area are blocked off while crews work to try to put this fire out. We understand from our crews there on the scene that they are still in defensive mode. We've watched these flames shoot out of the top of this building, and at this point they can't go in. They can't go into the building to try to put it out. They've got to stay outside because this blaze is so large. Now, we do know there is an apartment complex that is nearby. We do not have word yet on whether or not they have evacuated. Just as about 40 minutes ago, they had not evacuated, so that might certainly be some good news for people who are in that area. But again, at least 2 buildings on fire in downtown Birmingham. This is near the hospital district. You can see one of the UAB campus buildings just right behind where you see the smoke there on the right side of your screen. We have learned one firefighter is injured. We are working now to find out the extent of their injuries, but thankfully for them, that hospital district just a couple of blocks down, so hopefully they were able to get the treatment that they need. Again, this is a fire on 7th Avenue South. We're going to keep watching these images as they come in, and any updates we'll pass along to you. Also this midday happening right now, the Alabama Senate is debating the 10-cent gas tax increase bill. The House and Senate Transportation and Energy Committee have already approved it. The revenue would go towards road and bridge improvements. Survivors of the devastating EF4 tornado in Lee County are getting some help from FEMA. Storm victims have 60 days to register the damage to their homes. So far, we know about 300 homes have registered and $400,000 in aid has been approved. We've got more information right now on ABC3340.com. And one person is in the hospital after being hit by a car in Birmingham. It happened late last night on Green Springs Highway. This is a look at the scene. We're still working to find out how that person is doing and if any arrests have been made. A special job fair just for teenagers. Today, teenagers looking for summer jobs can come to the Carver Community Center in Anniston. The summer job fair starts at 5 o'clock. You know that voice. Nelly, TLC, and Flo Rida are all coming to Central Alabama. They're going to be performing at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater July 23rd. Tickets go on sale Friday morning, and they range in price from $20 to $80. Also, be the first to know about any major stories impacting Central Alabama with our free ABC 3340 mobile app and on ABC3340.com. We've got a safety alert this midday before you make those spring break plans. It comes after a teenager from Michigan fell to his death from a hotel balcony in Cancun. Now, some of the most popular destinations are cracking down, trying to keep students safe. Gio Benitez has the information parents need to hear.
This morning, spring break turned deadly. 19-year-old Ahmed Altai on a Mexican getaway with his girlfriend plummeting to his death from the 7th floor balcony of his Cancun hotel, allegedly after a long day of partying. Mexican authorities say his girlfriend told them he had been drinking all day and consuming toxic substances before falling to his death around 9 p.m. Friday. Other hotel guests remember seeing him earlier in the day.
We opened our hotel door to see what the noise was and saw him, angrily pacing forward down the hallway and her trying to grab him to get him to sit down.
His friends now mourning.
I'm just still in shock that he's gone.
You don't expect death come at you like this, especially when someone's having so much fun out vacationing in such a beautiful place.
According to one recent study, about 50% of college students plan spring break vacations, and with many heading to warm locales, authorities are cracking down, hoping to prevent tragedies. In Corpus Christi, Texas, police boosting security across beaches and roads to avoid drunk driving, even adding heavy fines for over-serving alcohol. And in Florida's Miami Beach, where last year they had at least 10,000 spring breakers in town in just one night, police taking a harder line when it comes to partying. The city giving them an additional $700,000 this year so more officers can be on patrol, mostly for spring break. The authorities even reaching out to colleges ahead of time to tell them they mean business.
And I sent letters to somewhere around 300 or 400 college presidents across the United States, in addition to the presidents of every Greek fraternity or sorority. What the letter said was, we're cracking down on quality of life offenses like drinking in public, smoking weed.
All right, that was Gio Benitez reporting. And we know in that particular case, Mexican police saying that this is a private investigation. The hotel at this point is not commenting. Back here at home, let's get a check on the forecast. Meteorologist Megan Thomas. Megan, a big problem in downtown Birmingham with that fire burning, and you said that this is impacting visibility.
Yes, I was looking at it. I was coming back down from a school visit in Gardendale, probably right around 10:45, about an hour ago, and you could see it. The interstate actually had a bit of this smoke on it, and then in the town, downtown Birmingham near UAB, you could barely see some of the buildings. So visibility is a bit limited down there, and especially as firefighters get this under control. But it is not impacting the amount of sunshine we have across central Alabama today. But check this out. Watch what happens. You see some rain showers cross into Alabama, and then they just fizzle away. The air a bit dry around here. Therefore, that rain cannot sustain itself, and we are dealing with nothing but clouds and sun today. Over in East Alabama, Anniston, back over into Heflin, bound down to Lineville, Ashland, all seeing that sunshine. Even downtown Birmingham, seeing that sunshine work its way on in here. We're going to be dry today and tomorrow before our next weather maker gets in here for Thursday. Now, 62 degrees in downtown right now. Coleman at 62 as well. Alabaster at 58. Tuscaloosa at 64. Low 60s from Gadsden into Anniston. Now, I've been mentioning all morning that Thursday is the day we're going to have to pay attention to as far as the weather is concerned. We do have a standard site risk for all of West Alabama and North Alabama for Thursday, mainly in the afternoon. This is our standard site risk level 2 out of a level 5. The main threat going to be coming from damaging straight line winds. If you live in Cleveland, Hayden, Blunsville, Coleman County, Double Springs, over in Hamilton, Vernon, Sullivan, Fayette, Berry, Tuscaloosa, Samantha, Northport, Aliceville, Carrollton, those are just a few of the cities that are inside of this standard site risk, and it really does straddle that Brent Centerville line, stretching back up into the parts of Jefferson Jefferson County and then straddles that halfway in Blount County. It includes all of West Alabama. Main threat again coming from damaging straight line winds. However, we could see a spin up tornado, especially this time of year. Remember, March, April, and May, severe weather season here in central Alabama. Across the state today, we're going to see a mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. And then as we go through tonight, temperatures falling back down to the 50s. Going to be a pleasant night as we kick off Wednesday morning around 8. We'll be in the 50s tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Temperatures mainly in the 70s once again. And then by Thursday morning, we'll see a few showers in here early on that commute into work, beginning over in West Alabama. And then as we go through time on Thursday afternoon and evening, that's when some of these showers and storms will begin to ramp up. As far as rainfall totals go for the next 5 days, generally around 1 inch. I do not expect much more than that. 72 degrees later today, a mix of sun and clouds, and will be warmer. Overnight, we fall back down to 55. The sky turns mostly cloudy, and then we clear out by Wednesday. Mix of sun and clouds once again. Thursday, the only day with rain this week, and then the weekend, St. Patty's Day is on Sunday. We'll be seeing sunshine with temperatures in the 60s.
New gadgets could soon be on the way to Apple stores. Just yesterday, Apple announced that it will be holding an event Monday, March 25th. Industry watchers expect Apple will use that event to announce TV streaming and Apple News subscription services. It's also possible Apple could use the event to unveil retooled AirPods, a new entry-level iPad, and the AirPower wireless charging pad. Now, one clue about Apple's intentions for this March 25th event is the tagline they used, saying, quote, "It's showtime." A health alert for measles cases in the United States. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is now reporting new cases. One state seeing 3 reported cases is our neighbor, Georgia. The CDC says at least 220 cases of measles have been reported all around the U.S. in 12 states, including California, New York, and Texas. The newest state to see a case is New Hampshire. Currently, 2 of the larger outbreaks are in Washington state and New York. The disease was eliminated in the U.S. in 2000, but is common in many other countries, which is how the current outbreaks started. This is National Sleep Awareness Week, and every year, the National Sleep Federation encourages the country to go to bed. As Meredith Wood tells us, sleep can affect every aspect of your health. So just how much sleep should you be getting?
It's National Sleep Awareness Week, where we focus on the importance of getting the sleep you need. And of course, it comes right after the start of daylight saving time, when you lose an hour of it. Each year, the National Sleep Foundation conducts a poll cataloging sleep patterns. This year, it focused on how a regular sleep schedule affects pretty much everything in your life. And surprise, surprise, those who reported a more disciplined sleep schedule said they felt healthier throughout the week. In fact, people who stuck to their bedtime and wake time were able to recover better when they did deviate every now and then. And those who had a more erratic approach to sleep were twice as likely to feel a physical effect when they stray from their pattern. Those individuals were almost 3 times as likely to report emotional effects and feel less motivated. So how much sleep do you really need? According to the National Sleep Federation, it depends on your age. Adults 26 to 64 should get 7 to 9 hours a night, while adults 65 and older need just 7 to 8 hours. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
It is a revival of the 1941 classic animated film Dumbo. 78 years later, there is a new live-action version of the Disney story. The 2019 take on Dumbo had its world premiere in Hollywood last night. George Pinocchio was there.
What is that? That's Dumbo in all his big-eared glory. This baby elephant's unique gift is good news for a struggling circus. But when greed, power, and deception enter the picture, things change. Dumbo held its world premiere party under the Hollywood big top, so to speak, inside the Ray Dolby Ballroom.
Is this what Dwayne Johnson experiences, more often than not? This is amazing. Usually adults come out of my films depressed and forlorn, but this is beautiful to be a part of.
It is an adaptation from the old animated movie Dumbo, but it has that kind of Tim Burton magical touch, which is always very unique.
We always work with some new people, but the people I've worked with, I love because they look at me and I don't make any sense when I'm talking, but yet they understand me.
Is that a monkey in your desk?
just for emergencies.
Two of the film stars have long histories with Burton, going back to 1992's Batman Returns.
It never fails. It's going to be fun, but it's also going to be really interesting just to be in his universe.
I would not be able to live with myself if I wasn't in Dumbo. This is like, I have to be here.
While the film has its humorous side, there are some tough moments too.
Where are they taking her?
Like Dumbo being separated from his mother. There's a reason Kleenex was offered to all guests.
What's going to happen is I'm going to get in there and cry. So no one should take my picture once the movie begins.
Literally last night, I was on the Dumbo ride in Disneyland in preparation for this premiere. I could not be more excited to see this movie.
Dumbo is rated PG. It'll be in theaters nationwide on March 29th. In Hollywood, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
Back here at home, we're watching the updates out of downtown Birmingham as a massive fire roars through a vacant hotel and another structure right next to it. You're taking a live look at the scene there at 7th Avenue South. We've got another update from the live desk on the other side of the break. Breaking news right now in downtown Birmingham, that massive fire destroying a vacant hotel as well as another building right behind it. This is on 7th Avenue South. Let's get back to ABC 3340's Stoney Sharp. He is at the live desk. And Stoney, we understand you have new information.
Sarah, new information on that injured firefighter. Let's take Rim 8 if we can. Live video from the scene. I just spoke to our reporter on the scene, Alex Durrence. He cannot confirm the type of injury. However, Alex says the injured firefighter was walking at the scene. In fact, the firefighter walked to the ambulance and was transported to the hospital. So some good news there. Again, this is the vacant Hospitality Inn, 7th Avenue South, a 2-alarm fire. Birmingham Fire is in defensive mode. It's unsafe to go inside, so crews are fighting the fire from the outside. No word on if anyone was inside the building whenever it started. Flames have jumped the firewall, but again, one firefighter injured. He was seen walking to the ambulance, and we'll keep you updated on his condition. At the live desk, Stoney Sharp, ABC 3340 News.
All right, Stoney, thank you. We're going to have updates right now on ABC3340.com as well as all of our social media pages. Megan, this is causing some visibility issues downtown.
Yeah, so I was talking about this. I was coming back from a school visit right before midday began, and on the interstate, people were slowing down. It's causing those visual delays. People who want to look over and see what's going on. Also, that smoke is filtering into the city. So nearby UAB, the hospitals itself, the apartment complexes near there, all dealing with this smoke. And of course, it's not impacting the weather, which is good news. We've got sunshine out there as well. Temperatures this afternoon will be in the 70s, tomorrow as well in the 70s, and then Thursday, that's where we're going to see the risk for some stronger storms. And here we do have a slight risk for some strong storms. The main threat going to be coming from damaging straight line winds. But how about that? The weekend does look drier. This is the first weekend in a while that we are not tracking severe weather, which is great news. And you know what? Sunday is St. Patrick's Day, so make sure you got to wear your green. Right?
With perfect weather. We finally get a nice weekend.
It's going to be good.
All right. Thanks for joining us on News Midday. Again, those fire updates right now on ABC3340.com and our social media pages. We'll see you back here on the News at 4. Have a great day, everybody.